Today we're talking about the ION compensation plan. And what I'm going to do is talk with facts, logic, and history of why I believe it's the best and not hype. And if anyone wants to get on the phone and have a long conversation about it, be my guest, let's talk about it. Now let's go with compensation plan theory. There's really 5 different compensation plans that are in use today, and everything else is just marketing mumbo jumbo. There is the stair-step breakaway or generational, there's the unilevel, the binary, the matrix, and the code. Everything else is just a derivative or a hybrid of those plans. Now, we also have to go on product margins. Products and services have a baseline cost, and then you add the profit on top of it. Now, what companies do is that they take that profit and they basically say, we have 10 ways to pay, 20 ways to pay, 100 ways to pay. Really, all of that times, it's the same. What do I mean by that? If I took $1 or 100 pennies, what pays more? They both pay the same. However, some companies from a marketing perspective will say, well, of that 100 pennies, let's put 5 pennies into a car bonus. Let's put 5 pennies in a global bonus pool. Let's put 5 pennies into a matching bonus. Really, it's all just dividing the payout out to make it seem like they pay more, when in reality, most companies pay the same depending on 2 kinds of philosophies. Are they paying percentages or real dollar amounts? Percentages, typically you need a lot higher amount, $100, $200, $300 auto ships and $1,000 packages to pay anything significantly, while real dollar amounts, usually coming from services and a coded type plan, needs a lot less. And I'm going to show you how that works. Now, through history, you have to look at what paid out the most. And really, in my opinion, the coded plans paid the most. If you look at modern coded plans, there's a few companies in electricity that are only available in 10 states, and they are surviving and they're thriving, and they are paying a great amount to their affiliates or their distributors. Now, when it came to history, Excel Communications was a behemoth. And when you look at a company, someone like Excel, the only reason why Excel is not around today is because of management. If you look at any company, it's usually because of management. Most of the time, 90% of the time, it's management. Now, when it comes to Excel, back in 1996, they had a person named Paul Robertson that was paying $1 million a month. $1 million a month. Here's the kicker. The residuals were a unilevel generational plan, and it really wasn't paying that much because long distance wasn't paying a lot of residuals. And so the total cost to get started was anywhere from $199 to $399 off the top of my head. Now, when you think about that, to be paying $1 million a month to several individuals is unbelievable. And that's the power of the coded compensation plan. The next time that was highly publicized, it was a coffee network marketing company, and it was a binary compensation plan. However, with the binary, you needed $1,000 packages and $200-$300 a month worth of coffee in order to get the same type of results. So that's the difference between a percentage, and that's also the difference between real dollar amounts or a coded plan. Now, there's also a non-monetary gain here. A lot of companies are operating like they're Sears, and the old way doesn't work as well as it used to. This is why there's a lot of issues in the industry. And what do I mean by that? Is that they have products which are $60 to $120. And while other companies or retail type companies have it for $30 or less. I'll tell you why they do that. It's because they don't know how to do efficient compensation plans, or they refuse to, or they're going more on the fact that they care more about company revenue. We can balance that out with a coded compensation plan. What do I mean by that? With ION, we're a $40 a month membership. And then we give you access to products which are $19 or less. That's less than many of the products on the store shelf. And so what do other companies do? Why is it so expensive? They take the same quality products. Remember, that's all marketing. They take the same quality products and they add the $40 which should be just in a subscription, and they add it on top of the product. The product becomes $60 to $120, and then they pay you a percentage, 5%, 10%, based on that difference. That is a huge difference. So that's why you don't have $19 a month products. You have $120 a month products. And that just doesn't work anymore. Why? Because people are more savvy. There's so many different kind of options. The gig economy is growing worldwide. People want a value while having an opportunity. So would you rather pay a $40 a month subscription like with Ion and get access to products which are $19 or less? Or do you want a company where they will just tack on the $40 and $80 to make your product $60 to $120 and then just pay you a percentage? It doesn't make a lot of sense. So in today's modern culture, that's where you need to be. Now, let's move on. So when it comes to the compensation plan, most of the profits will come from code and retail. Okay, code and retail is really where it's at. The unilevel is a minor part of the compensation plan. It simply plugs in the holes. And so when it plugs in the holes, essentially it helps people who are not big recruiters to make some sort of income. So for example, with the unilevel will pay on subscriptions, it'll pay on retail products, and it will pay on the travel subscription. There's no requirements on our unilevel. It pays currently 6 levels. And there's dynamic compression, meaning if someone goes inactive, it will all rise up. And so the difference with other unilevels is that they have these ridiculous requirements. They'll say you need a second or a third leg before you can get paid past level 1. We don't have those kind of requirements. Because we're straight dollar amounts, we know exactly what we're paying, not percentages. You can get paid on 6 levels no matter what. So you know exactly what you're getting paid on. That's why we can do an income calculator on ion.direct. Now that you know that unilevel is a minor part of it, that it helps people get paid on one leg, that there's no requirements there, it plugs in all the holes, let's talk about the most powerful part of the compensation plan, and that is the code. So here we have you as a brand new member, and you sponsored 3 other members. Now that you've sponsored 3 new members, you now promote to master, and the 4th person will be in your master code, and you'll be getting master coded bonuses to unlimited depth. The first 3 members that you sponsored will always be in your affiliate code. They don't move over into your master code. This 4th person is now permanently in your master code. You'll be making coded bonuses to unlimited depth starting at master. Now the first 3 people that you brought on board are still building in your member affiliate code. So when they bring other people on board, you'll still be compensated as a member affiliate since they were done before you turn master. In this scenario, you sponsored a 5th person and they became a master. On their first 3 members, you'll make $6 to unlimited depth. On their 4th person, since it's in their master code and you're a master, you'll make $2 on the unilevel since they're now making the master coded bonuses. Anybody that they brought on board before they hit master, you'll make $6 to unlimited depth in coded bonuses. This repeats itself all the way to the top of the compensation plan.